Hi everyone. Okay, so I'm actually doing a reading vlog for you guys. I know you can see my shelves, and yeah. So the story behind those are Darren brought me new shelves. We obviously restocked two shelves, but I've now rearranged books again because he bought me another three shelves, and I only put red books on the shelves, red books that I'm keeping on the shelves. So I have plenty of space to read more books and get them on. So with this one, I am going to be doing a reading vlog for you guys. I do plan on doing the whole series. I thought I'll do them as individual reading vlogs, mostly because when I did the big massive reading vlog as a big series, like the whole series of like The Housemaid's Secret and that one, it was really long-winded and pardon me, sorry. I don't think you guys needed a long-winded video. So I decided to do these ones as individual videos, make life a little easier, I guess. Yeah. So I'm actually starting with Killjoy, which is by Holly Jackson. This is the kind of like the prequel to the Good Girls Guide to Murder series. And this is a really short one, so I'm only just going to read like six, come back, tell you my thoughts, and then finish it, and then tell you the rest of my thoughts, give you my overall review, like my overall rating for the book, novella. It's yeah, it is what it is. I thought I'd start with this one, and then obviously the next one will be A Good Girl's Guide to Murder after that, so and then so on and so forth. So I'm super excited to get around to reading these because I have been dying to read them, and I do have the special collector's editions, so I thought that would be so cute. Um, and with that awful glare that's hitting through the window, it doesn't look great. But yeah, so I'm super excited to get around to it. As of right now, it's actually not even part of my TBR prompts. It's not even from my TBR list or anything. I do have one book still in my TBR. I just don't want to read it just yet because I don't know, I'm not feeling it right now, and I want to get this done for you guys because I feel like I always have plans to do videos and I never do them. So yeah, but I'm excited to get into this. I know it's so short. It'll be nice, short, sweet. Then I can go back to my original TBR and then come back and film the other one, and maybe I'll do like a little break in between. Um, yeah, I'm super excited. Honestly, chuffed to see how this is gonna go. So I'm gonna read like six chapters, and I'll come back and tell you how I feel from like the first half of the book, and then I'll finish it, and we'll go from there. So yeah. Okay, so I have read like the first six chapters, and lordies, um, honestly, I wasn't really sure how I'd feel about this. Like I said at the beginning of the year, when I read like The Housemaid's Secret and stuff, I'm not really big on thriller, but this is a YA like mystery thriller. This is gonna be a spoiler vlog, I think, because there's no way I can do this without spoiling. Um, so in general, they are doing a murder mystery game. It's that they're setting in the 1920s. I love the 1920 theme. It's always been one of my favorite themes. I really would love to do something so similar myself. I think it would be so fun. Um, and in fairness, I do love how they're trying to keep it as accurate as possible, other than the food. The food was like takeaway pizza, so that's not as accurate as you would think. Um, but other than that, the rest of it was all very accurate. Um, I also really do like that they have booklets that gives them like their prompts. So like obviously if you've read it you'd know, but like it tells them like their alibi, and then it starts telling them like things to do with the whole storyline. Um, so that's actually fun. And like I even like how they've got to look for their clues, and like they still got to kind of like they're all interrogating each other, and the our main character Pip, I kind of love how she takes it so seriously. Like now I'm finding myself trying to figure out who the murderer is. No idea yet, but still like it's not a real murderer, it's a fake one, obviously. But it's still fun and still trying to figure it out, which is really interesting. I think the only thing that again is kind of like throwing me off a little is that it's in third person. And always with third person POV, it does throw me off quite a bit. Like I get a bit like, whoa, okay. Um, yeah. So I'm not sure. I feel like that's the part that throws me off the most. That's what slows me down on reading. But if I'm putting that aside, I really have enjoyed this so far. Like I feel drawn into the story. I'm really enjoying it. I love Pip's character. I'm actually enjoying the other characters in the book. I feel like there's a lot more underlining to there. So I do know roughly what the main series is about, and I did notice that they put a reference in there to in here as well. So that would be quite nice when I get to the other one, I guess. Um, Overall, I'm super excited to carry on with this reading, but I'm only at the halfway point, so this is going to be a really nice, super short video for you guys. Before I get into like the longer versions. But overall, I just really wish I could take part in a 1920s themed murder mystery game. So um, I am enjoying it. It's shockingly surprising actually, because I'm pretty sure last year I read Suddenly a Murder and I wasn't really into it like that. I didn't really like it as much. But maybe because it feels more realistic here. Like in that one, they rented out a mansion on an actual private island and stuff like that. It just felt a bit more unrealistic. Like this one was actually held in like a normal standard house, the guy's house. They're pretending it's an island, but it's like, yeah, it's just his normal house. So maybe that makes it feel a bit more better. It's more realistic. So it's like if you're going to pretend it, you don't want it. I mean, I get that you want an extravagant, nice house on a big island somewhere and stuff, but the reality is, not everyone is rich enough to hire a whole house like that. So I feel like it feels more like down to earth kind of thing, and that's really fun to read, and I have really enjoyed that so far. And I feel like I'm going to carry on enjoying that, and I'm finding myself like noticing how like much Pip really focuses on things. So she's like any little thing. So every like one of the other guys, he keeps flinching, and she was like, "It's only when this certain word is said." And she was watching him for the third time when it happened again. And she was like, "Yeah, it's definitely when he says that." So she's really watching and like taking notes and everything. She's very academic, and I'm finding that so fun to read. So I'm absolutely looking forward to finishing this now. It's not going to take me long, honestly. Um, but it's just taking me longer because I'm waiting for deliveries. Hopefully, none will arrive while I'm reading. But yeah, so far I'm really enjoying it, and I just can't wait to finish it. This is going to be like the shortest one out of all of them because of how short. It's not even like a big book; it's just a short, little, cute thing. But so far I'm really enjoying it, and I can't wait to keep going. So let's see what the rest has for us. Okay, so I have actually finished this. Please don't mind the stuff here. I actually need to open it all. It's just it all came just as I finished, and I was like, I want to get this bit done first, and then I'll go and have a nose in what's in all the parcels. If you want to have jurisdiction on the parcels, they look like this. So I'm excited to see what's in those. I'm really sure I know what's in the bottom one. That's probably it. There's a few books in there too. That's about it, really. So yeah. So I finished this, okay? So I know it's technically a novella, but because it is the first one I read in the series, I did give it an official rating because I feel like it deserved it for the first one in the series that I've read. For me, I gave this like I'll tell you after, actually. So, um, I didn't like Ant, like his character, like who he is as a person, perhaps, and then the character he plays was just as bad as his actual mannerisms, in my opinion. I didn't like that. It made me a bit meh. I feel like he's like a douche, I guess is the word I'm looking for. There was a non-polite version than douche to say for him, but I went with douche. But I do love the character that Pip was playing, Celia. I liked the actual character she was playing as well as like her character in the book, not just Celia, but actually Pip's too. I love how Celia went from like just a random cousin that's basically been neglected to suddenly a government spy. So that was fun to read. I really did enjoy that. I have my notes on my phone, my other phone. I mean, who doesn't want to play a spy in a murder mystery game anyway? That would be so fun. She has more secrets than anybody. Um, at one point, it started to feel like they were all just turning on each other. Like they're all like, "Well, what about you?" or "What about you?" I was like, "Oh wow, you all were two friends. You're just it's only a game, guys. You're all just turning." But I mean, putting that aside, I think that their lines of questioning, although I know most of it was scripted for them, I think that that's why they looked like they was turning on each other, because they had to be like take suspicion of themselves onto someone else. And at first, I'm not gonna lie, I did mention this was a spoiler, so if you haven't read it, please don't listen now. But first, I'm not gonna lie, I thought Ralph was actually the murderer. It took me a while. Like, obviously, that would have been the boy Zach, but I thought his character Ralph was the murderer. I was trying to work out who it was the whole time too. I felt like if it was actually Bobby, which would be the one Ant played, if it was him, it was just too obvious. But I just loved how that they were all taking the game seriously. So I feel like Pip took it way more seriously than the others. And then after a while we had like a blackout, and she got a secret clue. And then from the clue, I thought that like the dude actually set up his own murder. Like Reginald, the like the father, the actual guy they're there for his dinner. Like I thought he set up his own murder, which I thought was like maybe him and his son Ralph were in on it together. And then I had way more enthusiasm reading. Like I was so enthusiastic reading this. The enthusiasm they had for the game was interesting. Like when they had to admit who they thought the murderer was, it was so fun to see who they all thought and the reasons why. And then when Pip said who she thought the killers were or the murderer was, I hadn't considered the inspector as a suspect. But then when she said that he like within theory of the game, he was there after a certain time, yet the only boat that comes to the island is at like 12. There was no way he would have been on the island that quick, because there's only one boat every day. So he had to be part of it. And then it turned out she was actually wrong, and it was really Bobby. So obviously the people that wrote the actual game, that made the original game, messed up somewhere there, because realistically her theory made sense, and I agree with her 100%. And I still feel that to this moment that she was right, and I agree. That was the theory I came to as well. Though the inspector I didn't quite catch. I'm glad that she did. Um, Other than that, I really enjoyed this. That part probably did put it down a bit. Like, why would you do a game and then just throw it on the most obvious person in the game? You wouldn't. I think that when the person that like I know it's a game that they kind of like downloaded and stuff like that. I think the people that originally created the Killjoy game had just wanted to wrap it up quickly, but I'm pretty sure she was right. Anyway, I really did enjoy it. Okay, I mean it was great for a first starter into the series. I haven't read the rest of it. I know that technically the official first book is Good Girls Guide to Murder, and I know that was actually released first. I know that this was released after all the other ones were, but obviously I have a thing, okay, I have to read it in order, and I did. I loved it, and I do think the ending of this one where she saw Ravi, I think that that's meant to go into the side to the fact that she works with him in the first book. If you've read the series, you would know this is going to be a complete spoiler vlog, because otherwise I'm going to be so confused. But I'm pretty sure that was a really good like slide into that's the main series, and I'm very excited for that to actually get there. So I gave this a 4.5 star. I liked it a lot. I definitely feel like I've hit my like YA mystery thriller type thing. Um, as I said before, I'm not really into thrillers like that, so it was really nice to read this one. So obviously, knowing I finished this one now, and obviously the next reading vlog will be on this one. That's where we're going to pick up again on the next reading vlog. I'm going to do this in a separate vlog only because yeah, I don't want to overdo this one for this one. So my next one will be A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. I will get around to it. I just wanted to show off the little pages quickly. They're so cute. But yeah, so I'm so excited. I hope that you guys are gonna stick around and see how that goes. And yeah, I'll see you in the next reading vlog, guys, which will be A Good Girl's Guide to Murder.